Hey guys, and welcome back to the second swimming pond update. It's been quite a journey with our pond this year. There were a few challenges to overcome, as the pond had a rough start into the season with its first algae bloom. In this video we will look at how I dealt with this problem by improving the skimmer system, which also resulted in building a small waterfall into the pond. We will look at how a very dry and sunny spring made me adapt the rainwater collection system of the passive solar greenhouse, which includes building a first flush diverter. And we will have a look at a few smaller but evenly important projects. So let's see what happened and continue the swimming pond story right where we left off after the first pond update last autumn. The first thing I want to show you is that I bought a net for the pond to protect it from leaves in autumn. I did not have that in the first year, and there were many leaves on the bottom of the pond after the first winter. I made this support in the middle of the pond. However, the net seems to be floating well on its own, so I will try it without that next time. Then winter came, and with it our family grew again. And so the beginning of this year was all about our new family member. However, it also reminded me that it is really time now to build a proper fence around the pond to prevent our children from going there without us. So this was the first project of the year. After some thought process, we decided to fence in the complete area around the pond, instead of fencing only the border of the pond. In this way, we can access it more easily. I've built the fence in the way I always do, with wooden posts on steel foundations and some fence mesh in between that is fixed with staples to the wooden posts. Then spring arrived. We've already had a very warm winter without much rain, and spring was just the same. As nice this weather was for us, our pond suffered quite a bit under these conditions. Pond looked like this at the beginning of March. I connected the air compressor and the bubble pumps, and the skimmer started to do their work. The water in the pond turned clear again quickly. The surface, however, became more and more crowded with algae. The problem here was that the skimmer was too small. It couldn't handle the amounts of material and was clogged all the time. I had to do a lot of cleaning by hand and was amazed by the sheer amount of organic matter that this little pond spit out. On some days it's been 2 of these buckets. But the more I observed the pond, the more I understood what happened. The stuff that came out of the pond was not only algae, but mostly sediment from the bottom of the pond. The sediment floated up to the surface, became very warm during the day, so algae had an easy time growing on the sediment. The first step to improve the situation was to build a bigger skimmer. I took a perforated plant pot and looked for a plant pot where the other pot fits into nicely. The perforated pot will filter the water. Then I drilled a hole into the other pot where the connection to the bubble pump will be and fitted the skimmer flap to the pot. The result looks like this. It worked very well from the beginning. From then on, the surface of the water got cleaner, but not as clean as I wanted it to be. After some more observation, I realized that the placement of my bubble pumps is a problem for the skimmer. The bubble pumps create small waves, and as my pumps are placed in a circle, they trap most of the surface dirt in the middle of the pond. But before I was going further with solving this sediment and algae problem, it was time to do something about the low water level in the pond, as by June a lot of water was missing due to the lack of rain. So the next project was to make some changes to the rainwater collection system of the passive solar greenhouse. Until now, the water from the 2 roofs of the building gathered at the back of the building. There was no way to get the water flowing into the swimming pond because there was not enough difference in height. To solve this, I swapped the gathering point of the two roofs and added a first flush diverter to the system. Now it works like that. The water from the two roofs meet here and flows down into this big pipe. Inside that pipe is a ball made from styrofoam. When it rains, the water pushes the ball up to this point, clogs the big pipe and then diverts the water sideways, locking away the first liters of dirty water from the roof, and only clean water travels to the swimming pond. Then I hoped for some rain, and just a few days after I finished this project, we finally got some good rains again. After this rain, I was curious if there was dirt in the first flush diverter and took off the lid. As a last step, I added a convenient way to empty the diverter. Now that there is an additional water source for the pond, let's continue solving the sediment and algae problem. After some thought process, I decided to build a second skimmer on the other side of the pond. This time I tried a different approach on how to build the skimmer. The water enters here into a floating skimmer intake. Then it travels through a pipe into a container where the water is filtered through a fine net. The pump is connected here. However, one big problem was that I had no bubble pump that could drive the new skimmer, and I didn't want to put another one into the pond. So for this case I went with a small 30 watt pond pump. It's a 12 volt pump which is safe for a swimming pond. Once I gathered all the materials, I assembled the new skimmer. I started by fitting some foam to the new skimmer intake. I also added a net at the bottom and filled it with stones. Then I put it into the pond and looked if it floats at the surface. After I removed a few stones, it floated right where it should. The next step was making a pipe where the skimmer intake fits onto. Then I built the filter, which again involved mostly drilling holes into plastic pots and sticking pipes through them. This is what the complete assembly looks like. I took it to the pond and installed it. Then I connected the pump and looked what happened. Right from the beginning, it worked really well. I put a piece of insect netting into the filter for finer filtration. Then I put some bends onto the bubble pumps around the skimmer and diverted the water away from the skimmer so that the surface dirt can get easier to the skimmer. And finally, on the next day, the water in the middle of the pond was clean again. But before we move on, let's have another look at the new pump. Right here. This is an empty pump outlet. I was very excited because I was going to build a small waterfall into the pond with the water exiting the pump. I gathered some stones and started working. It took me quite a while until I found an arrangement I was happy with. Then I mixed some concrete and began the assembly. First, I secured the water pipe from the pump in place. Then I placed one stone after another. I really enjoy work like this. The only tool I needed was this small level, the rest was just creative work with stones. Once I finished the concrete work, I cleaned the concrete in between the stones and let it dry for a day. On the next day, I connected the pump and enjoyed the first sounds of our small waterfall. The next steps for the pond were to find a prettier solution for the pipe bends and make a better filter cloth for the new filter. The filter cloth I had was a pain to pull out without losing all the collected dirt back into the water. So I went home and made a more fitting filter cloth for the filter. That works very well now. Then I made a cover for the filter to make it look better. For the 2 bubble pumps surrounding the skimmer, I made these attachments to block the waves towards the skimmer. The surface of the pond was really clean all the time now, and the pond was in a great state. What still amazed me is how much materials the 2 skimmers had to pull out of the water to get the surface clean. So I decided to try to clean the bottom of the swimming area to reduce the amount of sediment rising up to the surface. I had to think about that a bit on how to do that, because I didn't want to take all the fine gravel out of the bottom too. I came up with the idea to use this net for the job, but use it in a very specific way. I figured that if I dragged the net upside down along the bottom, the sediment might float into the net, leaving the cleaned gravel behind. I was amazed how well that worked. I walked rounds in the pond for about an hour, pulling 1 wheelbarrow load of sediment out of the pond. One day later, I looked at the pond and somehow got the feeling that it could breathe again. It felt completely different. From now on, I will clean the bottom of the pond more often. With these things out of the way, there was only one more improvement to be made. It is one that I should have done a lot earlier. Let's have a look at the plant zone. Problem here is that algae is still growing in between the plants. It sticks to the leaves and the skimmer can take it away. And as long as there aren't enough plants to cut away the light from the algae, this won't change. It was finally time to order a lot of plants for the pond. I should have done that right after I finished building it, but later is better than never. I ordered about 40 plants, all of which are native to our area. With the help of my son, I planted them in the pond wherever some gaps in the plant zone have been. I really hope that these grow fast and completely occupy the plant zone to take away the light from the algae. Until then, I'll have to occasionally clean the plants, especially after hot, sunny days. Luckily, I don't have to clean the surface in the swimming area anymore, as the 2 skimmers do such a great job. And after all that work, it's time to enjoy the pond. And that's also possible even if there are few bits of algae in between the plants. It's such a privilege to have a pond like this. It's absolutely worth the effort. If you liked this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. I'd very much appreciate it. Thanks for watching and see you next time.